Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the class on polymers. Yesterday, we have just completed introduction to polymers, a definition, importance, and then we have also discussed about stereochemistry and the properties, how the properties will change according to the changes in stereochemistry. Today we will start with polymerization reactions. So we will start with organic part. There are three types of polymerization reactions in general. They are condensation polymerization, or it is also called as chain growth polymerization. Second one is addition polymerization, or it is also called as, yeah, there is a mistake. It is not chain growth, it is step growth polymerization. Condensation is called as step growth polymerization. Addition polymerization is called as chain growth polymerization. Condensation polymerization is called as step growth polymerization. Addition polymerization is called as chain growth polymerization. And third type is coordination polymerization. These are the three basic polymerization reactions. We will start with condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization involves elimination of small molecules such as water or ethanol or methanol. The reacting molecules have reactive functional groups at each end. So in a condensation polymerization, the monomers have functional groups on both sides. So both sides monomer will involve in polymerization. These reacting molecules will combine in step growth polymerization. So these monomers will increase their chain length in each and every step. So that is why it is called a step growth polymerization. Examples of condensation polymerization includes bakelite. Bakelite is a polyphenol compound, and we have polyamides, polyesters, polycarbonates, and polyurethanes. These are some of the examples for condensation polymers. What is a bakelite? I'll discuss about polyamides and polyesters. Interested can go through what are polycarbonates, polyurethanes, what are their uses. Bakelite is a condensation polymerization between formaldehyde and phenol. It is a condensation polymer prepared from formaldehyde and phenol. Bakelite is the first polymer made from totally synthetic materials. You know, formaldehyde and phenol are not natural compounds, they are synthetic compounds. And this is the bakelite is the first polymer that is prepared from totally synthetic materials. You might have seen bakelite objects in our household, but you don't know that it is made from bakelite. Have you ever seen color switchboards? Initially, we used to have only white color switchboards, right? Electrical switchboards. But nowadays, we are getting many different colors. Now, in that, maroon color switchboard is nothing but bakelite. Or if you have seen any maroon color plastic objects, it is mostly prepared from bakelite, because bakelite is a strong material. Bakelite is used for kitchenware, jewelry, pipe stems, child toys, electrical switchboards. There are many applications, but I am just mentioning some of them. Now we will look at synthesis of bakelite. Generally, bakelite is synthesized by a reaction between phenol and formaldehyde. We will use 1:3 ratio. So what will happen in the first instance? Bakelite phenol will undergo aromatic electrophilic substitution. Aromatic electrophilic substitution. Generally, we use a strong acid to activate the reaction. Concentrated H2SO4, just 1 or 2 drops of concentrated H2SO4 is enough to activate the reaction. Then what happens? It will undergo aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. This carbonyl will pick up the H plus from sulfuric acid. So this is partially negatively charged oxygen. Carbon is partially positively charged oxygen. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Phenol, oxygen, OH is an activating group, so it activates the benzene ring towards aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. Because phenol is a strong activating group, OH is a strong activating group, it activates simultaneous aromatic electrophilic substitution reactions at all the 3 possible places, that is second place, fourth place, and sixth place. That means negative charge from second place will come and react with the carbonyl carbon. So as a result, we will have CH2OH here, CH2OH here, similarly CH2OH here. This is the first step in the synthesis of bakelite. So bakelite will undergo aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction in the first step. Then when we heat this, it will undergo dehydration. It will undergo dehydration. When it undergoes dehydration, it picks up OH from here, H from here. It picks up OH from here, OH from methyl alcohol, H from phenolic OH. when it undergoes dehydration, it generates double bond O, double bond CH2. Of course, other double bonds and other substituents, they are intact. So they are not disturbed. They are not disturbed. Now, this double bond, this is alpha beta unsaturated double bond, where it will undergo 1,4 addition, Michael addition. So here also, this carbon is partially negatively charged, sorry, oxygen. Carbon is partially positively charged. Carbon is partially negatively charged. This carbon is partially positively charged. So it will undergo again aromatic electrophilic substitution type, or you can say Michael addition. So in this case 1,4 addition, or what we call it as a Michael addition. So it will undergo Michael addition with one more molecule of phenol. One more molecule of phenol. So phenol with its alpha position, both alpha positions are para position. They are activated for aromatic electrophilic substitution. So phenol undergoes aromatic electrophilic substitution with this molecule, and it generates an intermediate of this type, OH. Then again all the double bonds will be rearranged. Now this will undergo aromatic electrophilic substitution with phenol at para position. So this is the phenol, and at fourth position it is undergoing aromatic electrophilic substitution, and it generates this intermediate. Now this intermediate will be radially involved, radially developed from this place, So remember, alpha to OH, ortho to OH group, and para to OH group. All the positions are prone for aromatic electrophilic substitution reactions. So when we do this, we will get a large polymer which is called bakelite. After many such polymerization reactions, the fully developed bakelite will look like this. It will undergo polymerization this side. It will undergo polymerization here with another phenol. Here also it will undergo polymerization with another phenol. These two positions will involve in polymerization. Then this position will involve in polymerization. If you want, you can extend it here also. I'm just stopping it here. Then we have one more place here. So this will be extended for polymerization. This side, it will be extended for polymerization. This side, it will be extended for polymerization. I'll just write two more steps. I'll stop it here. Then I'll write a polymer here. So there may be cross linkings or a free. This will undergo polymerization, and here also it will undergo polymerization. So like this, it will develop into a huge structure. It is called as polyoxybenzyl methylene glycol anhydride. This position, it is called methylene position. This position is called methylene position. This is oxy. Benzyl. Benzyl means up to this it is called benzyl. Methylene glycol. So sometimes if it is having OH, say for example, if it is having OH group, then it is called methylene glycol. So this is how bakelite will be fully developed into a polymer. Now, bakelite is famous for its electrical and heat resistant properties. Electrical and heat resistant properties. Because it is having both electrical and heat resistant properties, mostly it finds applications in insulators. It finds applications in insulators, radio, telephone casing, etc.